Companies survive. Companies tolerate that fellow. Companies let him have toxicity in the workplace. Nobody admits that I have an ego problem. You have a breakup, you have a very bad situation in the class, people are bullying you, and toxicity of workplace, all those things you want to, then your certification, your skills, AI skills including, will not help. So no bubble lasts very long. So bubble burst and market correct. You have given 25 lakh of rupees and you want to take your student, have him at home. What for? AI is a reality. You can't avoid it.
One uncomfortable truth that every student should know about the real life. Even if AI scales up to a certain level, what does college do to lives? If you're redesigning that education system, MBA right now, what will be the first thing that you remove from it?
Admit the truth. That's the reality.
Hello, sir. Welcome to the Gut Feel Show. How are you doing?
I'm good, Prranav. How are you doing?
Very good, sir. So I'm looking forward to this discussion where we will learn from you with your 25 years of experience of teaching and mentoring. So first thing I would want to know is, do you identify a pattern in students who really become successful in life? Is there any pattern in that?
Yes, if I think about it, yes, there's a pattern. Somebody who is slightly off the track, somebody who has tendency to take risk. And yeah, it is hidden at times because you feel maverick, something is odd with that fellow, but you have to figure him out or her out. And one more thing I have seen in my style of identifying people, I have believed that a person may be good in everything. Means suppose what happens at institutions, people think that those who are studious, front benchers, they cannot do the event management or cannot do the other things. But I have found that I myself also read like that. So that is a pattern which you can say. So this is, something is there. I am good at figuring them out.
Now, so tell me a scenario where someone is like 22-year-old, a student, and they have two offers to either go for an MBA or join a startup. Which creates leaders? What do you think? Where leadership lies today?
My mind is very clear that nothing is, one-sided. I mean, uh, somebody opts for startup, he can be a good leader, and somebody opts for serving somebody else. That's also a leader. So as such, dividing things that where more leadership abilities are there, that's not very good.
So is there something underlying which is a trait?
Leadership is a different thing. But when it comes to risk taking, then obviously it goes more with the startup. So somebody who has got the skill, rather ability or trait of taking risk, he is more apt for a startup.
What do you think, sir, success is made of talent, hard work, or something else? Or is it a mix or a recipe that you know?
Everything, and some slice of luck also, maybe at times a larger slice, because at the end of the day, how so much hard you try, that's a real reality. But I mean, you can't be completely dependent upon luck, but you do your bit and let's see what happens.
And today, if some student comes and asks you for an advice, what is an advice for that student? If that student is figuring out his or her path towards life after college, because life completely changes, it becomes more vulnerable after college. So what advice would you give to them regarding like how to deal with, because now life becomes more real. You're out of that cocoon, you're out of that safety bubble of family and the ecosystem. So how does a student prepare for real life challenges? Because now it becomes taxing in multiple manners, not just financial. Like the real world can tax you emotionally, and how does someone prepare for that? Because overall, after a college, most of the time people believe they should come out as a holistic personality. So what is needed in that? Like how can a person be completely prepared for real life challenges?
First of all, now the time is not of certification or degree, that's done. So it is skill-based situation. So that is the first thing. And I'm a very strong proponent of student-driven ecosystem in B schools, or particularly B school. I'm from B schools. So when you are saying that what we should nowadays insist in terms of making them ready, I have started telling people to acquire more and more life skills. And my major emphasis nowadays is to make them emotional stability. And I call it having balanced emotional thing as also a life skill. You have a breakup, you have a very bad situation in the class, people are bullying you, and toxicity of workplace, all those things you want to, these are real things. If you want to survive and succeed, then you have to have life skill. Then your certification, your skills, AI skills including, will not help. There you have to have life skill. And that is something, people call me that I'm reasonably okay beyond the classroom also. I'm a teacher practically, but I'm more effective outside the classroom. So that is my take on that. That life skills, especially the emotional thing, because nowadays, what I feel, many people lose track because of unable to handle that kind of emotional stress or pressure. Their things are required. And one thing I appreciate Gen Z for that, they are good. When they say, I'll do what I want, I really appreciated them. That includes my daughter. She's 21 years, and she says, she argues, and I like it. I said, good, at least you are clear. No, you want to do what you want.
Yeah, so they're clear in that.
Don't
There's
do
no
what
confusion.
I want. You have to, as a parent, I have adjusted. Adjusted was 4 years. She did BTech from Manipal. So I evolved. I don't know what happened to her, but I evolved. So now I'm a finished product from that point of view.
So in this Gen Z's world only today, like there's a lot of AI that has come in. And with AI now, people are, it's creating a lot of confusion. What is the importance of this? What is the importance of my degree, this and that? So can you tell me what is the importance of college today, even if AI scales up to a certain level? What does college do to life?
I'll go a little back, maybe 10 years, 15 years. If you look at the institution, including BA schools, academicians have a tendency to have ego. They think that they know the education better. But I have always of this idea that it is the corporate who knows better, because ultimately when students are passing out, they go to the corporate. When they are going to the corporate, so they have better understanding. So stop claiming that you know education. No, you have to understand what is required in the market, and then accordingly you have to adjust, adapt, modify, and then you, so lip service is more, and on ground you'll not find many academicians or business, the B schools leaders like me. They admit openly, and they do the course correction. So just same analogy you can have for AI. AI is a reality, you can't avoid it, and you want to extend only lip service, this will not help. So you have to actually accept. And with my research on AI, I believe that it is something to have a coexistence. You have to coexist with AI. For example, I need advice. I used to go to my good friend. I can go to AI, but don't rely upon anyone. That's not a great idea. Same, don't rely upon AI also, but advice.
Take it with a pinch of salt.
Pinch of salt or bucket of salt, whatever it is. But
it's good in reducing redundancy.
And look here, how fast you can get advice, well-informed advice. But it can be, distorted. As you can have a lot of content in the social media or internet. Accordingly, AI will give you AI will give you whatever is available. So that may not be correct. You can't completely rely upon AI tools, but good to have some advice, some informed advice.
Without creating dependency, maybe.
Time is very important. You have the tools with you. Within minutes, you get to know what to be done, what not to be done.
So it can help.
Same applies to Google Maps. When you are using, you have to use a lot of brain. If you are not using, then there would be a situation where you're lost, losing the track, losing the time.
It is like the new era of Google search.
Maybe.
We used to do it 20 years ago also. Now it is more specific and very accurate.
And very good.
Very accurate, yeah.
And I'm a fan of many AI tools.
Absolutely. And they're saving so much time. That is what you said, time is important.
Adding value to us.
Absolutely. So like you mentioned, you are into leadership and you have seen so many students and you've been a teacher yourself, and teachers, I believe, are the best of leaders. Now tell me something, is leadership a skill that people are born with or you can learn it? What have you seen in your life experience? What is leadership?
It's very difficult, no one knows. Probably situation makes people leader, and opportunities when they are there, and in times you'll find that some people, like student-driven activities, some team is there. You will find 7-8 people have come together for doing something. Among them, somebody may come up as a leader. He would have never thought in his wildest imagination that he will be able to lead a team, maybe let's say placement team or media team. Of the media of the whole institution is being driven by that fellow. He has never done the leadership thing. So it is very difficult to say, but some traits are always there with people. They may not have come to the front. And as the opportunity comes, you will find that good number of people may have the leadership skills. So it is very difficult to say that who is a leader, who is not. Situations make people great.
And how do you identify a leader?
Again, that's very difficult to tell.
Like in these students that you have worked with you as leaders and have led teams, what is that unique thing that, because it's difficult to manage a team of people, the human emotion.
One of my corporate friends said PhD. The P is for passion, H for hunger, and D is for desperation. So I liked it. One of good friend of me in corporate, he gave me, sir, your PhD is different, my PhD different. So
Yeah, but
you have to have people who are desperate to do something, hunger, and yeah, passion is something which is there. So you cannot be a normal person if you want to be, thought leaders. You have to be different.
out of the box.
But just don't be different for the sake of being different.
Yeah.
It has to be naturally present with people, and yeah, people, those who are higher up, they are
You
supposed to have
cannot
it.
pretend your passion is what you mean. You cannot pretend it. So one uncomfortable truth that every student should hear today, because you know things, like you have experienced the real world. So what's that one uncomfortable truth that every student should know about the real life?
I call it jealousy a few years before, but right now I call ego. That people have ego, which beyond logic, and that's the biggest problem. I call that leaders have egos, and therefore there is a leadership deficit, which is very strong, is significantly present in the corporate world as well as in everything. Whether it is you look at the political, geographically, geopolitical scenarios which you are finding, you can term it that way. So that's the bitter truth. Nobody admits that I have an ego problem. I am, less logical when it comes to my ego.
And as a leader, I think that should be taken care of. That should be subsided.
Very big thing. Suppose you are a performer. You are a top performer person in the organization. You're not a promoter, but you are a top performer. You have idiosyncrasies of ego. Companies survive. Companies tolerate that fellow. Companies let him have toxicity in the workplace. Admit the truth. That's the reality. So cost benefit analysis is also done by the promoters, board of directors, and they let that person survive. He disseminates toxicity like anything, and you can't do anything.
We have seen through social media a
But
lot of people
at
complaining
the end
about
of the
it.
day, he is performing, and that matters.
He's getting the numbers to the company.
That matters
The
because
bottom line
somebody,
matters.
you have to admit the reality. So that's the bitter truth, which you won't find people so often admit.
And that is the real life that starts after college. You have to face this, I think.
So boss is always right. Rule number two, don't forget the rule number one.
So today, when you interact with these young students, what concerns you the most? Seeing ahead of time, because you can see where they are headed. What concerns you the most?
If you ask me, then I'm very happy, satisfied. I'm really proud of Gen Z. It's not I'm saying to please anyone. I have found this generation is good. They think about themselves, and which is correct. And at times I meet with people, those who are very ethical also. Youngsters are ethical. Their direction is less. So there this combination of direction of experienced people and energy and passion of the Gen Z is something which is required. So sometimes because they are not aware, so out of passion they start doing, they don't understand things. But understand is not that they should not have passion, they should not be allowed to do what they want to. But some sort of direction, everyone
Mentoring
understands.
is,
Mentoring, that is needed.
but they are full of passion and ideas.
I have very high regards for them because I work day in, day out with the students only. As I said that I'm fond of student-driven ecosystem. So I run many teams parallelly with me, and every day I'm the ultimate boss there, but I don't disturb. So a combination of regulated freedom is something which I observe. So I've been working with kids like anything. So I understand their mindset.
And I think it's a big part of your life now, as in the
It
college
had been.
for a long time now. So one habit that you can tell someone in 20s, or one habit in 20s that compounds later in life and helps you, what would that be for a student?
I think a student should be maybe dependability. They switch things from, they look for money, quick success. These things I believe can be avoided because there is no quick success.
But one good habit, like for example, what should they opt for as a habit in college that will compound and help them later in life, next 10 years?
Dependability, hard work, these things. Because nowadays they don't want to take sometimes no responsibility. They want to have free. So if you are working with somebody and you are working for money only, there I at times differ. I said that you have to have a value proposition. Suppose you want to work for an organization, think that they work for 6 months, say Tata bye-bye. I said, why did you join on the first time? Don't join. If you agree to join, then you ensure that have you delivered value or not. You made money, you went away. But this is a loss to both the parties. They don't understand that their 6 months of experience has got lost.
That's an
losing
impulsive call, miss.
That rationality, probably, I believe that they should, when they, I mean, I call it myself, I have 3 years, so probably for them at least 2 years. If they join somewhere, they should stay for 2 years. Don't join if you don't agree. I mean, you don't find comfortable, don't join. But once you take a call of joining, stay there for bare minimum 2 years and ensure that you are adding value. I'm not saying don't, but leaving so fast, 6 months, 7 months, and working for money only, there I differ with one set of Gen Zs. Well, that's not. That is what my
Should think long term.
bare minimum think value proposition. Na? Like you took a call to join an organization. Company, when company hires, they invest money. I think you understand that. So think from both the point of view. It has to be a win-win proposition. What do you want to win and lose proposition, which is not a sustainable long-term proposition to survive in the world. So for long run, this win-win proposition, ensuring that whenever you join any organization, stay there for some time, deliver value, and then you make a move. Right, the right moment, you can figure it out when is the right time to call it a day and make an exit.
So from being a professor, which is one thing, and from now being a person who handles the responsibility of a complete institute, how has that leadership in you that has changed, how that has evolved in this? Because these are two completely different set of things. How are you dealing, or how have you evolved as a person in this process?
Yeah, when you are in B school, as you become senior, you start given more responsibilities. So may not be the head of the organization, but yeah, head of some unit that you're handling, research section or placement section, admission section. So that way you are heading a team, you get to know the leadership thing. You work under the boss of the organization, the head of the organization. So that way you learn many things when you are doing. So when you say that I have become director, what are my learning or how have I evolved? One thing I was not, one major shift which I realized, which I have got last 3 years, is that I have started respecting people. Earlier my mind was very clear. What is my way? That's the right way. But now people made me, I mean, my higher ups made me understand, कि Shailesh, this is not very good just to see your point of view. Start respecting everyone. So that respect for everyone's contribution is something which I have learned in last maybe 2 years before I realized this. After 1 year, during one of my very close interactions, long interaction with my higher up, I realized that I'm missing out that thing. I'm not respecting people.
So that empathy is very important.
I don't call it empathy, respect. I mean, you have to respect people, and that is very essential. So
So that's a skill that you would want today's student also to learn early in life. Will that help? If you say that you learned it late in life, so is it good to learn early in life if a student learns
it
that
is very
early?
difficult that these things cannot be learned just because somebody is saying.
No, if you can tell, because sometimes some people, I'm not saying everyone will be receptive, but some people are receptive to the fear of making failure late in life. So if they are listening to someone's lesson in life, that this was your lesson, so maybe I can learn from it early in life. So for that 10% of the people or 20% of the people, it can be helpful, and that small change is enough, I think.
Sometimes people start calling it theoretical or ethical, it is not. This is not theory. This is not ethics. Respecting others. Let's say you join an organization, you leave it after 8 months. It means you're disrespecting the organization where you are going. So how difficult it is? How will you make any Gen Z understand? Don't leave a job there. He's going for a jump of, let's say, 50,000 rupees, 1 lakh. So it is difficult for that fellow to understand this respect thing. Probably certain things comes with age, with time. You learn hard way. There are certain things. I think this is of that league, which comes to people only with experience.
So you have worked the maximum and most of your time in the management education, right? What would be, if you're redesigning it, let's imagine if you're redesigning that education system, MBA right now, what will be the first thing that you remove from it, which is no more needed?
My personal idea about it that the academicians, especially the leaders of B schools, they should be more practical, grounded. They should be in not touch with the corporate of only lip service or just making people say that I'm industry centric. They have to first of all admit wholeheartedly, and they should accept if corporate says something or they realize that. So that ego part is something. If I get a chance, then probably I would like to remove this ego thing among the academicians, especially when they are heading the institutions.
And sir, anything academically, do you think in today's AI evolution, something that's unnecessary or irrelevant that might evolve, that might need a change? Because there are skills that are now evolving. like every education system is trying to evolve because times are changing so fast. Even a lot of my tech friends, they have evolved from their tech jobs now using AI now. So a lot of things that they had learned in college have little importance now from what they have learned while they're working. So SE quiz that you would like to add or subtract into the system because of the current times that you're seeing in last 5 years?
At personal level, I'm very fond of, and I believe strongly that market corrects.
Yeah.
Market is the right place to test everything. You say that you are good, prove it in the
Absolutely,
market.
100%.
So there's no other place.
Theoretically, anyone can prove anything.
You can be a great teacher, be school teacher, but you are given a institution to run, you are given an organization to
Practical.
run, you are failing. So what are you teaching?
Theory and practice.
So no, my idea is that market is the right place to test your anything. So and market corrects. I'm a finance student, so I have that clarity. Market corrects. So no bubble lasts very long. So bubble burst and market corrects itself. So if something is getting accepted, giving value to the world, it will survive. So I don't think so. I believe that market will give you indications. And obviously, if you want to really make money in the market, you have to have the foresightedness where the market will move. Only then you will make a timely intervention in terms of investing the money.
And as an MBA, that is very important. How do you cite that? Because sometimes it's a mix of intuition, logic, and a lot of these things.
So reading the market is very essential. So I don't think so anything is there. Geopolitical scenarios are very uncertain. I don't know. I had a think tank yesterday I was talking to. So that's very big uncertainty practically. But I again believe that market, the things will correct itself.
So in this process, like you're giving this amazing advice that market's correct and you should see opportunities beforehand. That is how you make money. Any book that you would recommend or any book that has changed fundamentally the way you think?
Nowadays, I'm reading many books, so it's very difficult to say that something has significantly changed me.
Like the decisions that maybe you were thinking 10 years earlier is now a book that maybe helped you change those.
I recently read a book on mindfulness. Deepak Chopra wrote a book. He's not a famous name anymore. I think you understand the reasons. It's not very good. So he has written a book on happiness. Not very thick book, costly one, 700, 800 rupees book. So there he had talked a lot about mindfulness. So I started believing at the end of the day, if you look at world life, then peace is the most important thing. So there mindfulness is something which is a good idea, which I, acquired and trying to practice. So just to say
mindfulness is
a
skill.
Control your mind to be happy.
And so any 5 books that you would recommend to students who are studying right now? Because you're reading a lot of books, so anything that you would like to give a suggestion?
The book is very difficult. This happiness book by Deepak Chopra.
Like I listening to you about the markets, correct? I remember a book that's my favorite is Market Cycles. That taught me reading patterns, like you mentioned. Then wo वापस आएगा, that cycle will come back. So, and I think that's a great MBA skill that you mentioned, that you should see the market cycles beforehand. That is when great investors put in money.
Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway, he's one of my landmark person. I admire him a lot. So he has made a lot of money by this approach.
Yeah.
So as such, I cannot give you names. Because there are many things which I read concurrently, and I'm not very good at remembering names also. So no answer for that.
No problem, sir. What as the leader of the institute and for the students coming in, let's come to this last segment. What is as a family, because now when the student comes in, it's a complete family is involved in that process, right? It's a complete ecosystem. So what is your advice to that family that's now coming and studying? Because there are a lot of things that have to be managed, that have to be looked at. So how do you want them to look at life? What is your suggestion and advice with your 20 years of experience, 20 plus years of experience? What do you tell them, and how should they start their journey of MBA?
You're saying, you're asking for parents or
because the parents also are involved primarily. So because a lot of times the freedom that you're talking about, the student should have freedom. The freedom is blocked by parents also at times. The risk-taking capability. So is it important for parents also to understand that?
I'll share with you my experience about parents.
Yeah, because I think that thing is important in Indian context.
You understand that nowadays parents are very sensitive. They'll come to you, my son has not, or daughter has not got placed, or he's having some problem or the other. lot of problems, emotional issues, breakup things and all, that kind of thing. So my idea dealing with parent is very simple. First of all, I talk to them. I asked one to stay outside the room. I first of all bring him to my side. I said, which side are you? First, I said, they know me. When they come to me, they know that.
And it's good you keep the student out of the conversation.
I first of all make them understand that, sir, this is the scenario. And your son or daughter would have not informed you for obvious reasons. Nobody is going to tell you the truth. I am telling you, I am available 24/7. And these are the reality. And I obviously do my homework before I let any parent come to my cabin. So my first job is to make him come from his son or daughter's side to my side. And you'll be surprised that I have got so far no problem. I'm famous and infamous for taking very hard decisions, which I usually won't find people have guts to take. But I could have taken just because support of the parents. And my
Some
strategy was-
examples. This is interesting.
Recently, I debarred one student. I'm talking about one very peculiar, just 3 months old example, 4 months maybe. So that fellow was very choosy in terms of applying for the companies. We have a rule that out of 100 companies, 25 companies, so application rate should be 25%. We give a lot of liberty to people. I'm talking about Symbiosis now. That fellow even not applied, did not maintain 25%. We waited for 3-4 months. And in February, we start the placement season from August. In February only, I put my foot down, I had debarred. His parents were furious, came to I want to talk to him. So I never say no to meeting people as teacher, student outside. I gave him all the data. I said, then I told him, this is the, a disciplinary action I have to do, but I'm giving you one way out. I said that I'll allow him to sit for any 2 company which he is willing to. I'll relax the debarment for 2 companies. Again, they were, no, this. I said, look, what the problem with your son is that he is not, first of all, applying to the companies, not maintaining 25% ratio of application rate. And second, wherever he is applying, he is not getting selected. It means he is not giving his heart and soul to clear the company. And you need one company only to clear, no? Or you need many. So I said, I'm giving you 2 companies. So one famous company was about to come. I said, I allow you if your son wants. Yes, son wants. I said, he has got one more. And you will be surprised to know that he got selected that company. And the parent again came, thanks,
Because
sir.
now the stakes were high.
No. But parent understood the logic that when I have created this artificial situation, that if you don't succeed, you will not be able to get an opportunity of applying for a company from the college. He put his everything and made it.
So his focus got cleared.
So you said example, so I'm giving you an
It's a
example.
very good example. And
But having parents on your side is very important when you are dealing with parents in a B school. This is what
because
my take.
you tackled it in a nice manner by keeping the student out and clarifying it with data, as you mentioned, because otherwise parents at times are just biased with their own child.
Parents, I'm also parents who understand it. I understand their mindset. I think that if you tell them like a head of the organization, sir, I'm your side, I'm with your son only, your daughter only. But these are the problems which you are facing. Tell me how we can solve it. They understand. Trust me. When they get fellow feeling, they are also parent, I'm also parent. I'm dealing my students like parent only. I said, they are my responsibility. If you have taken admission in my B school,
Absolutely.
it is my responsibility. But I'm having these problems. Tell me, sir, the solution, and they understand. They cooperate with you. You'll be surprised. And they handle their son in a very good way. So I get double support.
This is a very good example. On this, I have a follow-up question. What advice do you have for parents? Because we have spoken about kids and we understand that parents are big stakeholders in this ecosystem. What should they understand when the kid is entering college?
Prranav, as I said that when it comes to heads of the B schools, different people learn B schools differently. So my advice when they deal with me, because I am just available all the time, I try to understand things in a different format. So I tell parents of my students that don't disturb these students. I'll tell you why. Because B schools which I run, usually they are fully residential programs. So they have habit that they have a function, some marriage party, they will come to me, sir, and I say, what, why? So there but again, I can't say that all the B schools are like that, but if B schools are there and the management of the B school is requesting a parent not to allow, not to let their son or daughter take for leaves or requesting for leave. They go home on the early vacation, they want 3-4 days as if it's their birthright. I said, if the vacation is getting on date X, why do you want to have X+1? Ask him to report on X. So, but I have always counseled and I have found that soon the parent understand my point of. But I mean that subjectivity is there. Which institution we are talking about? Who are the parents? What are the conditions? But one advice: if management is saying that don't take extra leaves, let the student stay in the institute for longer duration because it's a fully residential program. I think parents should understand.
So that discipline is important from students' point of view also and parents' point.
I don't call it discipline. I said value proposition. You have given 25 lakh of rupees and you want to take your student, have him at home. What for? You have paid us money now. I'm saying that I'm imparting value to him. Let me do my job. Why are you disturbing? So it's all business practically. Value proposition.
So how are they missing out on it when they are unnecessarily avoiding it for their own money? So with the new age school of managements, what is different? How are they better? How are they evolving so that the student gets most value out of it?
I'll give you two things for this. And very same idea I talk about Badruka School of Management. I recently joined, as you are aware. I found that good B schools don't give value for money. Education of no value for money is missing. They charge slightly high, and the value which they are delivering is slightly low. And for me, my mind was very clear that placement is the ultimate value which we eventually give to these students. I mean, that is the real measurement of performance of a B school. So there I have concerns. I call it ROI, return on investment. Numerator, I put the average salary which B school. If it is not inflated, practically should not be. And denominator is the 2 years tuition fee. Because there are institutions which do not have fully residential programs, so it is good to compare oranges with oranges, not oranges with apples. So having ROI more than zero point 0.7, I theoretically believe that the B school should focus on that. And in some forum recently, I did my ballpark estimation. Hardly you'll be surprised to know that hardly 10% institutions, B schools in India, those who have ROI more than zero point 0.7. This is my crude estimate. I can't claim. I'm not making any very responsible statement. But my intelligent guess is hardly 10% B schools are there who are actually having their ROI more than zero point 0.7. So that's a big concern. Look at BSM. BSM's effective tuition fee is a little low. We are charging 15.9. Tuition fee is 12.4 lakh total for 2 years. Effectively, it is significantly low because we are offering right now just because we are new institution scholarships. So if I look at that effective fee and I look at my average package, which is 8 LPA, so my BSM Hyderabad's ROI is more than 1. So that way I claim that we are giving one value for money program to these students. So that's a good thing. Now, second thing, unless until B schools are ensuring that value is imparted to the kids, you cannot befool the corporate. How so much great corporate engagement you have. Some corporate people will entertain you just because he knows you for years, maybe for one recruitment, two recruitment. He may come every year, but for one. But you want more number of students to get placed in good B schools at a better package, at a better profile. Then you have to ensure that students have been imparted the value, skill based. So right now I'm very clear. Yesterday, last week only, I have decided that we are going to start one AI lab, artificial intelligence lab. And I've already enumerated the AI tools in every function area, like marketing, finance, HR, strategy. What are the prominent main AI tools? Everything can be purchased, but yeah, the main ones will be bought in the AI tools. And I'm just thinking, yesterday only, today morning also, I ensured my team will ensure that all these students, those who take admission, they are AI. Because right now, what I think that something which can't be avoided.
Absolutely.
So AI should not be a lip service. Let them equip, and I'll tell them how to coexist. We'll ensure that they will learn how to coexist with AI, and then how do they use, that is their personal approach to look at the
And
whole
they will
problem.
be ready to use it by the time they're
That I'm
in their
ensuring.
job.
So that's why I call it, this is BSM is a value driven new age B school, and I'm ensuring that new age is no more a lip service from our side. We'll ensure that technologies also keep on changing, evolving. So whatever best can be imparted in terms of making these students market ready, corporate ready, I think that we'll be doing. Everyone says so, I know, but I have my own approach to look at that. I'll ensure that students are imparted that kind of value in terms of having them corporate ready. So that is the different thing which we have for BSF Hyderabad.
Superb. I think you're already keeping focus on high ROI and also focusing on versatile skills that helps the student. So thank you for all the input, sir. I think that leadership skill and that style of managing the institute that you mentioned is really something that helps students shape their lives when they proceed. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for giving the opportunity to talk.
Most welcome, sir.